Next to you, Starstruck, and Adrienette, famous AU, big dating AU, apartment neighbors AU, fanfiction. Chapter 23. Wow, Marinette breathes as she stares out at everything in front of her. It's pretty empty, it's pretty plain, and she is already in love with it. There are endless possibilities, and she can't wait to take them all. It's so perfect, she mutters to herself. All of her criteria have been met. Open layout, marble kitchen countertops, black color scheme. It's everything she wants and will be more. She'll always love the old one, of course. It was so lovely, and it gave her the happiest thing in her life. But this new one is much better, and the one she saw in her dreams as a kid. And now, she's standing in it. Everything up is down, and down is up, and the world is crazy, but alright in every way. You're staring at it like it's our newborn child, Adrien chuckles. He swings an arm over her shoulder, and blushingly, Marinette looks up at him. I love it, she confesses. Adrien laughs, and he presses a kiss to the top of her head. That's great. I do hope you like our new house. 2 years later, they finally made the decision to move in together. It honestly wasn't as hard of a decision to make as that seems to be with other people. It probably had something to do with them being neighbors. Marinette already knows what Adrien is like in the mornings. She already knows that he loves playing really loud and drum-heavy music when he showers, like an angsty teen. She already knows that he likes turning up the volume on the TV really loudly when watching a movie to simulate the feeling of being in an actual theater. All of his little quirks she already knows, and she can live with it. Even back at their old apartments, he was always over, or she was at his house. They were kind of stuck with each other. The choice to live in was just an easy one. They looked online at a few different houses, and they found this one, which they love. And now they are standing in it, being the owners. It's crazy. This is my dream home, Marinette says with a smile. I still can't believe we found it, she hums, looking up at him. Me neither. They just finished moving a few days ago. It all feels a lot like deja vu to her. This is how they met, after all. All during the moving process, Marinette was teasing Adrien about how loud he had been the first time. She asked if he needed help. He laughs and pushed her away, even though she was still cackling. That night they slept on a mattress that had yet to be put into a bed frame. Marinette had never slept so well before, or woken up with such a warm feeling in her chest. What time is it? Marinette asks him. Adrien looks down at his phone, telling her that it was nearly 2 p.m. Great! We should start on dinner, she says. Tiki and Plaid will be here in 2 hours? Adrien nods. Marinette thanks her luck every single time that she thinks about how close Tiki and Plague has become to her and Adrien. No longer were they client and manager. Now they were friends who laughed and reminisced over those really funny moments. No one else could truly understand the wildness of their first year of dating. Plague loves teasing them on how long it really took them to figure it out, that they were madly in love. Truly, it was ridiculous. Everyone else could tell, or more accurately, they couldn't tell that it was faked. As Marinette cooks dinner for the first time in her new house, she takes a second to appreciate cooking with Adrien. He's gotten better at cooking after 2 years with her, and now he can confidently use the stovetop. Adrien catches her staring with a smile on his face and teases her by sticking his tongue out. "Stop!" Marinette laughs, throwing a towel at him. "And keep sauteing those onions," she says, rolling her eyes playfully. Adrien pretends to strike a pose while cooking. "I'm a model. It's just what I do," he says in a dramatic voice. "And I'm Margot Fierce-White," Marinette says, raising her brow in a smirk at him. "Get back to work." He gives her a 2-finger salute. "Right on it." "Tiki, Flag!" She welcomes them in with a hug. It's been a few weeks since they all last saw each other, but she and Tiki try to grab coffee once a week. "Come on in." Plug looks around, staring down the new decor that hadn't been there the last time he saw it. "I like that," he says in a gruff voice. Tiki nudges aside. "See? I told you decorating is worth it," she says with a laugh. Plug scowls back, and he tries to defend himself, making excuses that he didn't like it enough to want to put it in their house. It's hilarious watching him babble, and his face slowly turn color. Tiki is giggling so much, it sounds like she's already drunk. Okay, save your breath. Get it. Don't throw a hissy fit," she teases. Flag huffs, but doesn't say any more. As per usual, dinner is more about the conversation than the food, though Marinette is proud to say that the food is still really good. "So, how is the boutique going?" Tiki asks. "I saw an ad for it when I was looking at Instagram." Marinette smiles. "It's going well. I'm still trying to balance the shop with work, but it is incredibly fun. I'm still trying to decide if I want to let the world know it's me or not. I think I'd like people to actually get stuff because they like it, not just because they heard it's attached to my name." Tiki nods, understandably. Marinette had opened up an online shop only a couple of months ago. She really feels like she's in high school again, making clothes late into the night, posting them, feeling proud, squealing when she gets an order. It's all coming back now. This time, though, Julika is not her model, and she's not 17 years old. Especially when she was still planning out the shop, Marinette tried her best to keep her name unattached to it. No doubt, if people caught wind of her making and selling clothes, they'd swarm to the shop just to say that they bought clothes from her. Marinette's always wanted her shop to do well because people liked it, not because people wanted to get clothes from Adrienette's girlfriend. Plus, she could actually feel accomplished and proud of knowing that she worked for her success. That's something that she's always cared about. "I think it is a good idea to keep them separate. It also keeps you from having to restock every other day." She laughs, and Marinette nods in agreement. That would be so awful to deal with. "Adrien," Flag says, shifting the attention. "Heard you got booked for a TV show." Adrien nods. "I did. It'll be my first one since my teenage acting years." He laughs. "My contract is for at least 3 years, so hopefully it's not a total train wreck." "I heard Camille and Jake are also on the show. How has that been since the breakup?" Flag chuckles. Adrien huffs out a laugh. "Crazy, definitely. There are things happening at table reads that I think Lila Rossi would die for. When our directors are around, they act pretty professional, of course." Tiki nods understandably. But when they aren't, that's when they get so snipey with each other. During one of our filming breaks, because we were filming outside and the lights suddenly changed, they nearly got into a shouting match over something that Jack had tweeted. It's wild, he explains. Yeah, Marinette agrees, having heard all of the stories that Adrien comes home with. Sometimes things on set get so awful and he comes back in a terrible mood, and it takes an entire night of cuddles and movies to get him back to normal. Not that Marinette despises doing that. She's still so head over heels for him. It reminds me a lot of high school. All the dumb fights over boys. All the girls that hated me for being friends with said boy. She laughs, thinking about the girls who had yet to grow up. She sure hopes that they don't still do that as adults. TV sets kind of feel like high school, doesn't it? Whenever I visit, it sure does take me back. Oh, certainly, Tiki agrees. Everyone that didn't go through high school or college learns what it's like by going on stage. Like me? Adrienette. Like you, Marinette chuckles. The hours go by quickly, and Marinette is having so much fun just talking. They run through so many topics, one of which is teasing Plag and his musical phase back in university. She and Adrien had no idea about it until Tiki mentions theater, and Plag just knows a little bit too much about it. He grumbles for nearly 5 minutes as they are choked from laughing too hard. Who knew you liked musicals? Would you like a backstage ticket? Chloe's new boyfriend does some Broadway, Adrien jokes, getting up to grab a bottle of wine and 4 glasses. I will gut you if you tell her, Plag threatens, much to everyone's amusement. He says that with love, Marinette teases. She and Tiki exchange smiles. I most certainly do not. When Adrien brings out the bottle and starts pouring it out, Marinette notices Tiki's hesitancies. Something's up. She knows it. She sends the red-haired woman a questioning look. Tiki smiles at her mischievously. Okay, well, it looks like Marinette has already got it figured out, she says with a laugh. Marinette gasps excitedly. I'm right? I'd be surprised if you weren't, Tiki says. Anyway, she puts her hands out, and there is an overjoyed smile on her face. I'm pregnant, Tiki exclaims. Marinette gently tackles her into a hug, and there is an overjoyed smile on her face. Adrien's face is in pure shock and joy, and Plag seems frozen in place, so she can only guess that he didn't know before. Yeah, really, Tiki replies to Marinette's shouts of, are you serious? And is this real? We're gonna have a baby? Plag says, wonder in his eyes. Tiki nods, and he reaches out to touch her belly where their baby is. Tears start welling in his eyes, something that Marinette has never seen before. This is the happiest day of my life, he says softly. What about our wedding? Tiki jokes. Plag waves his hand in the air. Old news. Wow, a baby. Marinette and Adrien cackle as Tiki smacks Plag's arm for his comment. But Marinette smiles in joy, feeling so lucky for getting to be a part of this announcement. Tiki and Plag will be amazing parents. She and Adrien both know it. They're 2 of the most loving and caring people that they have ever met. The baby will have the best life possible. Marinette looks at them with a grin on her face. Congratulations, she says, though it's a bit redundant because Tiki and Pug know just how happy that she and Adrien are for them. This is going to be a wild ride, but a fun one, she continues. Yeah, Tiki smiles. She looks to her husband, who has his arms wrapped around her to keep her close to him. Hopefully this baby will act more like me than it does this heathen of a man, she joked. Flag scoffs. I can't be that bad if you decided to marry me, he points out. That's true, Tiki laughs. Maybe I should use that line whenever this one. Adrien nudges Marinette in the side. Asks me why I'm the way I am. He laughs. You try to eat butter, Marinette responds dryly. Why would you ever do that? Adrien only shrugs at her, and Tiki laughs. Marinette's heart quite literally cannot be any fuller than right now. She and Adrien have been together for 2 years, only one of which have been really real, but they have been in love for both. But God knows she can't help but imagine what it would be like to have 3 little kids running around their house. Will they have her eyes and his hair, or his hair and his eyes and her hair? Either way, she'd love them to bits, and she'd be so proud just to look at them every day. She smiles as Adrien laughs at something Flag says. Marinette has always been a dreamer, but she's never thought about having a life with someone other than Adrien, even as a kid. When she was in year 6, she wanted to marry him. And now here she is, at age 26, and she still wants to marry him. It's all come true. Her dream boyfriend, her dream house, and maybe they'll even get married soon. Marinette can't wait for that, but she's so happy right now too.